The idea is that if it doesn't fit you, you can take it back to the scout office and get one that does. It's a little hard when we buy these ahead of time to make sure each one fits. This is my 41st year in scouting. I was never a scout as a boy, and I always regret the fact that I wasn't, because I would have loved to set my goal like yours to be an Eagle Scout. But I live vicariously by having a little part to play in every Scout's life, and especially the ones that go on to Eagle. I remember them all. So, incidentally, this is really good if you're on a cold night.
Absolutely.
Okay, back to the fun stuff. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mike Danelich. I'm one of the assistant scoutmasters here at Troop 111. Before I start, I'd like to say, JR, with good guys like you, I'm glad we don't have too many bad guys in the troop. And I'm also glad that I don't have a daughter. What did I want to say? I remember when Stephen first joined the troop, moved down from New York. And here was this kid, you know, he had his pants tucked into his spit-shine black combat boots, military style, his aviator sunglasses. I don't even think I knew you looked like the first 6 months. And I saw it right, there were some pictures with some dog tags. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So my first impression was sort of like, you know, what's this kid's deal? But then I met his dad, and I thought, it could be worse. You know? I think maybe I can work with this kid. So, a couple of memories. A few years ago at summer camp, I think it's Thursday night, it might be Wednesday, they do an evening prayer service at camp. And the one year they were giving out Bibles. And I saw a lot of the boys took the Bibles, and I think, quite frankly, that many of them took them because they didn't want to be the boy that didn't take one. But the next day, more than 20 hours later, I found Stephen down by the waterfront reading his new Bible by himself. Do you remember that?
I do.
And I came up to him, and I saw a boy by himself, buddy system, by the way. And I just came over to make sure everything was okay. And I saw what he was doing, and I said, don't ever stop reading. Right? Remember? And I'm saying that again. Don't ever stop. And along those lines, Stephen has been begging me for a couple of years now to get trained to be a counselor for the Adult Tarry Day religious emblem. That's the first of the Catholic religious emblems. All of the faith traditions have the religious emblems. But Stephen is very interested in growing in his faith. I'm very sorry I haven't finished the training yet. It's been more difficult than either of us thought it would be, but there's still time, and I'm still hoping to pull it off if you are. Absolutely. And then my last memory, Stephen, was a few years ago. I went up to the climbing wall. There were several boys from Troop 111 that were doing the climbing merit badge. My son was one of them. And I wanted to see, I took some pictures, some of those pictures are mine. But man, Stephen, going up that wall, like Spider-Man, just right at the wall, no problem at all. It was amazing. He's got a real gift for that. And I want that to stay with you as an image as you go forward in life. If you remember and live by your faith, if you remember and live by the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, then whenever you're faced with a challenge, you'll go up it like you did that. You might slip a little bit here and there, but you'll get over it. Congratulations.
All right, so I am the other Stephen in the troop. I'll share the person. So I remember meeting Stephen first before he was in the troop. He had the privilege of coming to visit my patrol, and I see this guy. He comes up big talk about joining the Navy. I'm like, this toothpick joining the Navy. And then now, as I see him, I run track with this toothpick as well. But I see him, and he has grown so much in Scouts and so much in sports that he is one of the most athletic guys I know. And I also think that if he gets in the Navy, man, he's going to succeed in the Navy. But as great as a leader as he is, and as relaxed as he can be, and as funny as he can be serious sometimes. But the more funniest part is when, that's not a word, but is when he was trying to learn how to hurdle. So I am a hurdler on the Alma track team, and so I went over to go practice, and Stephen has come out to indoor track practice for the first time, which is deceiving my name because practice is not indoor, and it is in the winter. So muscles get tight in the cold, most of you know. So everybody has a strong leg, everybody's got a weak leg. Your weaker leg follows by, this is going to take some demonstration here. Your weaker leg follows like this, okay? And not everybody's fast enough to get the right amount of steps in between, so you come with the strong leg every time. So Dolan had to learn how to use his weak leg as a strong leg, and sometimes. And I've never seen somebody go across a hurdle with both legs like this. I saw somebody in the track so hard, on the cold, and man, the fact that he got up, I was like, yeah, he'll be okay, maybe. And then, so, granted, I don't really fall when I hurdle. I gracefully get up, and then Dolan, he was up quick and wanted to do it again because he was not going to let that hurdle teach him who's boss. So. Dolan perseveres to a lot of things, and the fact that he's up here giving us some word today means he's persevered more than a lot of us have been in our whole lives already. So I'm glad to call him a friend, I'm glad to call him a teammate, and now I'm glad to call him an Eagle Scout. So.
All right, so my name is Joshua Oliver. I'm the Assistant Senior Patrol Leader at Troop 119. I'm also a member of the track and field team at Atmore High School. My greatest memory of Stephen, I met Stephen in 7th grade, 8th grade, something around there in middle school at Jack Jewett. But my greatest memory happened not too long ago. We're at track practice at indoor, and Steve comes up, he's like, Josh, I'm gonna pole vault. I'm a pole vaulter, and I was like, Steve, what do you mean you're gonna pole vault? He's like, I'm gonna pole vault. I was like, it just doesn't have, you don't take a giant stick and jump over a bar overnight. Unless your name is Stephen Dolan, and then you do. So we had conference championships were in a week. Coach came to me and said, Josh, we need more points. I was like, what do you want me to do? He's like, teach someone how to pole vault. So Steve comes to me, he's like, I'll do it. I was like, okay. So we get Steve vaulting in 3 days, and he comes in 3rd place at the conference championship. Yeah. Granted, there were only 3 people. It's not the point. He still cleared something, which is impressive. Most people don't start vaulting until like 2 weeks after they start. Steve started 3 days. As that really showed you, the first time he went up off of that pole, I was very scared. Because if you don't know, when you pole vault, there's a pole, there's 2 giant metal bars, and he was about that far away from smashing his head into one of those metal bars, and I thought, I was like, Steve, you're done. He's like, no, I'm not. He goes over again, and he has it, just like that. So that just shows you that, again, like the hurdle story, Steve's not just gonna, let some object keep him down. It's just gonna keep going. So that's my memory of Steve.
Yeah, I've been a chaplain's aide a couple times in the troop, and one of the things you have to sponsor is to get religious emblems. And not that many scouts in our troop even care about religious emblems. They won't go up to you and ask about them. Stephen Dolan would run after me after the meeting when I'm heading to my car just to ask about adult dating. He was that determined about it. So I said I would look into it, and then he just kept texting me and texting me and texting me and texting me, asking, did I look into it? So he was really into his religion stuff, and that was pretty cool. Then another thing was, we learned Stephen was from New York, and with most New Yorkers, they know their pizza. They don't like it when you give them terrible pizza. So at summer camp, which is not known for their food, they were serving pizza out, and Stephen, it looked like you just insulted him because he looked at it and he's like, this is not pizza, I'm not eating whatever this is. And he just kept talking about it for the rest of the meal. He would not let it go. But good job.
Some of you guys are new, you don't know me. I'm Gary Kellenberger. I used to be in the troop. I did not have the honor and or privilege to be a scout with Stephen for a really long time. I think we were together for 2 years in the troop. I think the last position I held was the quartermaster, and if you've ever been quartermaster, you know it's not an easy thing to do. There's so much gear that you have to check in and all that other kind of stuff, but Steven was always up there helping me out, making sure that all the gear was checked in, and making sure that it was always right. And every single trip that I ever went on Steven with, he never had a dull moment. It was always, how can we make this a better trip? How can we do this? How can we do this? If you're feeling down, he'd always try to cheer you up. And that's all what being an Eagle Scout is about. Welcome to the brotherhood.
So much fun.
So a lot of people have talked about, he never lets an object get in his way. And we used to play football during campouts a lot. And there was one time, I think it was at Camp Shenandoah, that we were on the same team, and we had scored a lot in the game already. And the other team had the ball, and I was playing defense. And the ball came up, I looked up, and I felt something on my back. Happened to be a shoe, and he used me as a ladder. He caught the ball. But the one thing I remember from that camp out is feeling that shoe in my back and then feeling the ground. And he's never going to let an object get in his way. He never let me get in his way. So that's my greatest memory. But yeah, that's just his determination. He never lets something get in his way. So congratulations.